first year of their coming, the advent of the Overlords had made less difference to the pattern of human life than might have been expected. Their shadow was everywhere, but it was an unobtrusive shadow. Though there were few great cities on Earth where men could not see one of the silver ships glittering against the zenith, after a little while they were taken as much for granted as the sun, moon, or clouds. Most men were probably only dimly aware that their steadily rising standards of living were due to the Overlords. When they stopped to think of it, which was seldom, they realized that those silent ships had brought peace to all the world for the first time in history, and were duly grateful. But these were negative and unspectacular benefits, accepted and soon forgotten. The Overlords remained aloof, hiding their faces from mankind. Corellan could command respect and admiration. He could win nothing deeper so long as he pursued his present policy. It was hard not to feel resentment against these Olympians who spoke to man only over the radio teleprinter circuits at United Nations headquarters. What took place between Corellan and Stormgren was never publicly revealed, and sometimes Stormgren himself wondered why the supervisor found these interviews necessary. Perhaps he felt the need of direct contact with one human being at least. Perhaps he realized that Stormgren needed this form of personal support. If this was the explanation, the Secretary-General appreciated it. He did not mind if the Freedom League referred to him contemptuously as Corellan's office boy. The Overlords had never had any dealings with individual states and governments. They had taken the United Nations organization as they found it, had given instructions for installing the necessary radio equipment, and had issued their orders through the mouth of the Secretary-General. The Soviet delegate had quite correctly pointed out, at considerable length and upon innumerable occasions, that this was not in accordance with the Charter. Corellan did not seem to worry. It was amazing that so many abuses, follies, and evils could be dispelled by those messages from the sky. With the arrival of the Overlords, nations knew that they need no longer fear each other, and they guessed, even before the experiment was made, that their existing weapons were certainly impotent against a civilization that could bridge the stars. So at once, the greatest single obstacle to the happiness of mankind had been removed. The Overlords seemed largely indifferent to forms of government, provided that they were not oppressive or corrupt. Earth still possessed democracies, monarchies, benevolent dictatorships, communism, and capitalism. This was a source of great surprise to many simple souls who were quite convinced that theirs was the only possible way of life. Others believed that Corellan was merely waiting to introduce a system which would sweep away all existing forms of society, and so had not bothered with minor political reforms. But this, like all other speculations concerning the Overlords, was pure guesswork. No one knew their motives, and no one knew toward what future they were shepherding mankind.